What's going on, guys? It is your boy Joel TFD here. Welcome back and again with a video review for you guys today. And today I am doing the Superman 2025 movie review, and I just gotta say, man, bro, oh my god. Okay, before we get straight into this review, just want to say really quickly, definitely hit the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. It will really mean a lot if you guys come and reach that goal, but we're also very close to hitting 950, so if you want to help me reach that goal instead, that would also really mean a lot. Let's get straight into this review. I gotta tell you right now, honestly, it's such a good movie. It really is, honestly. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor, honestly, is definitely one of my favorite performances for Lex Luthor, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you, like, watching, like, every single Superman movie, you know, up to this point, honestly, really has helped me put in perspective, like, how Lex Luthor is supposed to be, you know, and I feel like James Gunn really did such a good job, honestly, but not, I can't say James Gunn because it's like, it's Nicholas's whole, like, portrayal of him, you know, and it's just crazy, yo. There's just this one scene where I was like, damn, like, this guy, he does mean business, he's standing on business, literally, and I was just like, damn, yo. And then David Corenswet, he's such an amazing Superman too, honestly. I really did like his portrayal of Superman also. It's just so good, honestly, and like, you could tell the difference when he's talking like as Clark Kent and also him talking as Superman, you know. And I will say, I wish we did have a little bit more Clark Kent type of stuff, honestly, but I'm still completely satisfied of what we got in this film, to be honest. Oh man, this movie was so freaking good. I loved all the side characters too and everything, and it was just so freaking amazing, yo. It really was. I'm about to head to spoiler territory, so I am gonna give you guys a warning right now that I'm heading to that. If you guys haven't watched the movie yet, definitely click off now, but before you do, make sure you subscribe. Anywho, I'm headed to the spoilers right now. Bro, I will, there's so much things I want to talk about, honestly, when it comes to this film, because, like, again, I love the portrayal of every single character, honestly. The moment I was, like, legitimately like, oh shoot, Lex literally means business, is when he pulled the gun out and tried to kill that, what's it called, that engineer that I guess Superman was working with or something like that, you know. And he like obviously he was doing like Russian roulette, where like the bullet, you know, didn't go first, and then the second one went, and I was like, yo, oh my gosh, that was so freaking intense, I ain't gonna lie. I was genuinely like, oh freaking shoot, you know. And yeah, it is legitimately crazy, honestly, the way that whole thing went down, honestly. And then freaking Superman, like, I loved like every single scene that he was in, honestly. There's one part where it did get me teary, was when he was having the conversation with his pa, honestly, and I was like, damn, like, that's like so like sad, honestly, and it's just so freaking good, you know. And then I think another part too that kind of hit me in some type of way, I wouldn't say it hit me as much as like other scenes, honestly, and as much as other people tend that it hit them, honestly, but like maybe if I watch it a second time, it will definitely hit a lot more, honestly. He literally was just like there talking with Lex, you know, at the end, and he was like, and that's what makes me human. That whole speech, I was just kind of like, yeah, that was such a powerful ass man. I know it was a powerful ass message, honestly, but like, I don't know, it hit, but like, I don't think it hit me too much, honestly. And I feel kind of ashamed to admit that, honestly, but I do want to express it to you guys, because it's like, it's such a deep message, honestly, and like I really did like that message, honestly, and I really like that's what kind of Superman represents in some type of way. So it's actually pretty cool to kind of like see that unravel in some type of way, you know. And like it was such a good part, honestly. I love this film, I really do, honestly. This film was honestly such like a powerful movie, honestly, and I really liked it, you know. And I really liked the whole, like, Lex is literally a freaking menace in this movie, honestly, which is why I really do like this movie a lot. Again, the action is freaking crazy too. I love Crypto, honestly. I thought that was freaking amazing, honestly. I love Lois, honestly. Lois was freaking amazing, honestly. I love Guy Gardner. He was freaking funny, honestly. I love Mr. Terrific, bro. He was so freaking crazy, yo. I actually really did like it, honestly. My favorite scene with him, honestly, in my personal opinion, had to be the action scene when he was like fighting all the guys in like that desert area. I was like, oh shoot, damn, okay. It was so freaking cool when he went with Lois, by the way. It was so freaking cool, honestly, just seeing that whole action scene, honestly, and just kind of like, it was so cool just to see all that, honestly. And then Hot Girl, bro. Hot Girl, bro. Isabella Merced. Yo. Slide my way, baby girl. But I will say though, there's two things of this movie that I was kind of like iffy about, you know. I will say one of them is not that big of an issue, you know, but the other one I do kind of find a little tiny bit of an issue. The one that I didn't really have a big issue with, honestly, was like the end credit scenes, honestly. Like, they were kind of like small gigs, which I didn't mind, honestly, but like, I did enjoy the movie, don't get me wrong, you know, like, the most important part for me, honestly, is that I enjoyed the movie, which I did, but like, I felt like the post-credit scenes, honestly, they were just kind of like little, like, small gigs in some type of way, you know, like the one before, like, the actual credits, you know, when Crypto and him are like sitting on the moon, like looking at Earth. That was such a beautiful part, honestly, and like it was crazy to see that, honestly. And then the ending part, I was kind of like, you know, like, I know it's like a small little gig, you know, but like it was just kind of like, I don't know, I felt like it didn't, I don't know, I guess I'm so used to it progressing the stories in some type of way, you know, like the bigger picture, if that makes sense. But I don't know, maybe we'll see. We'll generally see what's gonna happen, honestly. But I did like this movie a lot when it came to the overall experience and everything. But another thing too, actually, is with Hawkgirl. Actually, isn't her wing supposed to be like legitimately part of her body, you know? I don't know, I was just kind of like weirded out in some type of way, because it's like there was a part when they were in the Hall of Justice and she was just sitting there with no wings, and I was like, where is her wings? Like, I was kind of like, isn't the wings literally part of her body, you know? So I was just kind of like very curious, and like I don't know how I would feel if it was like retracted into her suit, because I feel like that would hurt, you know, if it was part of a body, you know. That's like with Stitch with his other two hands here, you know, and if it like you had no hands whatsoever and just put them in, you know. I guess for Stitch, in a way, yeah, it's different, obviously, because he's like with an experiment, you know. But like, I don't know how I would feel if her wings was like back here, you know. I feel like it's like extra arms and you're kind of like tied up, you know, in some type of way, and it feels weird for me personally if it was something like that, you know. But I think I'm just so used to when I'm seeing Hawkgirl, you know, she's always having her wings out and everything, so it's very like, I don't know, it was a issue for me, honestly, when it came to the movie. But overall though, Birkin loved this movie, honestly, and my rating for the movie, okay, I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10, alright? I think I gave the same thing for Ballerina though, because I will be completely honest with you guys, Superman and Ballerina are literally right here when it comes to being #1, honestly, for my top movie of the year, honestly, just because to not get in brief with Ballerina was an amazing movie, honestly. All the action was freaking amazing, honestly, and I felt like it had a lot more action than it did with Superman, even though the dialogue was like also there also, but it was very, very short when it came to that movie. But with Superman, there was a lot of dialogue, but it's still, the action felt so much satisfying too in some type of way, honestly, and that's why I love both movies so much, because like it has a good balance of dialogue and also action, you know. But Superman, obviously, since this is the first one of the new like universe and everything, obviously we're gonna get more dialogue, which I still love the dialogue, you know. The dialogue is such a powerful thing when it comes to movies, honestly. And then with Ballerina, you know, like they had the dialogue and it still had the story progress in some type of way, even though of how short the dialogue was, but the action was still like what's it called, consistent, you know. While with Superman, you know, the dialogue, it was longer, you know. It was obviously in brief, which I really love, because again, these characters really make it so entertaining to watch the dialogues, you know. You're not really dragging to the point where like, all right, can we just speed up the story, you know. They literally like progress the story with their dialogues and everything. But the action too was so freaking satisfying, and that's why I'm kind of so like, it's so hard for me to pick right now which one I prefer, honestly, because they're literally even for me personally, all right. They're literally even. This movie is a 9.5 out of 10, honestly. I'm pretty sure I gave the same rating for Ballerina, if I'm not mistaken. Well, okay, whatever rating I gave Ballerina, I'll definitely like fix it up, but like it's the same rating as I gave Ballerina, honestly. And I'm just kind of like, damn, bro, like so freaking crazy, because it's literally 9.5, honestly. The reason why I'm not giving it a 10, I can't give it a movie a 10, honestly, because obviously I would say a perfect 10 out of 10 movie for me personally, at least for me personally, and I know this is gonna sound way off topic in some type of way, but like, is Transformers Dark of the Moon. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Transformers Dark of the Moon really impacted me in a way where it kind of inspired me to make my stories, you know. And just like, I don't know why, but it's just destruction too in some type of way, you know. Like that movie really just kind of paved the way for me when it came to like my childhood all the way till now, if that makes sense. And that's why that Transformers Dark of the Moon is literally like my number one movie of all time, honestly. And with Superman and Ballerina, you know, when it comes to at least this year, they're like tied right now. They're generally really tied, and I know they're two different complete things because Ballerina's obviously like the ground level, and then Superman's like higher up level, you know. So it's kind of like, I don't know, man, I just love both of the movies, and it's so hard to pick which one I like the best of this year, honestly. But I will say though, I think Thunderbolts is literally number 3 for me personally. So yeah. Yeah, honestly, yeah. But that is going to be my review for the Superman movie. If you guys did enjoy this review, definitely hit the like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know what you guys think of the movie, and also what would you guys give your rating for this movie. I am very curious of what you guys think. Anywho, peace out, guys. To enjoy every day, make every day an awesome day. Everyone stay positive and be positive. You guys already know to have a positive mindset. Peace.